Previously on Chaos Town.
I have dreams a lot. Yeah, this is the first journal that I have, and cue the chaos. I have no idea who this is. They tell me I have to fight this guy, and he looks angry and ready to rip me apart. Weird, huh? We were in an old Roman-looking town, but somehow I know, well, we're in England. Like, the guy then just looked at me, kind of disappointed, and said, "Oh, the murderer?" And I kind of just shrugged and was like, I guess so. I need to learn more about how dreams work. It can't be what you think about before you go to sleep, because I don't remember thinking about any of that. It's not even worth explaining. Don't even worry about it. Such trash, but it's like good trash, you know what I'm saying? Damn, 2017 me was on some different shit.
And now it continues.
It's Halloween month. Spooky season, spooky season, spooky season. I hope everyone has been enjoying their Halloween month so far. Hope you've watched a lot of scary movies and eaten a lot of candy corn. But getting right to it, today we are here to talk about my ghost encounters. Now, disclaimer, I just want to say that I feel like a lot of these can be explained, but there is one of them, the last one I'm going to talk about on this list, that for the life of me, I have not been able to give a reasonable explanation to, and still haunts me to this day. So, without further ado, here are my ghost stories. Now, some quick background. Ever since I was like 6 years old, I have needed glasses, I've had bad eyesight, and I feel like this first one I'm going to talk about could just be contributed to the fact that I can't see, and my mind is making up things to kind of figure out what I'm seeing in the shadows of the dark. When I was a kid, I used to sleep with my door open, as you do, and I just remember looking out and I would see this like shadow outline of like a human, and it was just like a very basic, like almost like what a kid would draw if you told them to draw a human, but just like blacked out, like very like kind of circle-ish head, like non-detailed, and I would see this shadow man creature thing peer around my door corner, and it would just like slowly look like that, and then it would come back, and I'd be staring at it, and it's almost like when I stared at it for too long, it would know and it would try to hide again, but it would always slowly look back out again and then hide. And I just remember like laying in bed as like a 8-year-old or however old I was. It went on for a couple of years, and just like watching this shadow man. And I mean, I don't remember being afraid of it. Maybe I was the first time I saw it, but then like I got used to it and I realized like this thing is kind of more afraid of me than I am of it. And then sometimes like in our hallway we have like a mirror on one side of it, and I can see it from where my bed is. Like if the door was open, I could see it, and it was almost like I would see the shadow man's reflection in the mirror, but it was like his back was to the opposite wall. Like he was looking at me through the mirror somehow, and I was looking at him. It was weird. He also had 2 like white pin dots for eyes, which I don't know if that makes it better or worse in terms of it being scary. But honestly, like I kind of miss him. Like I don't sleep with my door open anymore. I haven't for like years. But like sometimes I wonder, like, is he still out there in the hallway? Like does he just chill? Like I don't know. And like I said, I feel like that one could very easily be like debunked as like, oh, I didn't have my glasses on and I couldn't see, and I was hallucinating because it was dark and I was tired, or maybe I was afraid, like, you know, like stuff like that. But he's just like one of the ghosts or demons or whatever you want to call them that lives in my house, because there are some other ones that like to just like do their thing once in a while here. Speaking of shadow people though, now at this point in my life, there are these, I call them the 3 demons. I don't really think that they're demons, I just kind of like to phrase it like that to like freak my friends out, but also like they very could well be demons. Like I've never asked them, I don't know. And at night they just like chill in my room. Well, 2 of them chill, one of them does want to kill me. I have 2 in the corners, one of them kind of just like crouches down on the floor and like doesn't ever look at me. Like I think he's like crying or something. I don't know. I should probably ask him if he's okay. But his name is Dimitri, and then there's Anton, who stands and faces the wall and occasionally will like look over his shoulder at me. like, I don't think that he has any ill intent towards me, but you never know, because shadow demons, you know what I'm saying? And then the third one that hangs on my ceiling is named Carlile, and it's like, it's weird, it's almost like his head is on backwards, because he will, like, his hands and feet will be like attached to like my ceiling fan where my light is, and his head though is like not looking at me like it's like looking back or upside down. It's like looking at me like it's staring straight down at me, and he wants to kill me, and if I look him in the eyes, it's all over. Maybe they're SCPs. Maybe I just have like several SCPs living in my house, I don't know. But again, this is also like, I'm half joking, okay? Don't think I'm being 100% serious, because I realize I do sound like a crazy person, but I'm half joking. I'll just say that, because some of this stuff just, man, whether it's real or not, it sticks with you. And again, it's like, it's at nighttime, and it's when I don't have my glasses on and I'm just looking up into the dark, so it very well could just be I'm like afraid of the dark and I can't see, and my mind is like creating these things, which is like, that's what I think it is. But also, like, I am someone who, like, it's more fun to believe in stuff, even if it's like bad, I guess. I don't know, like it's fun to believe in like mermaids and vampires and magic and like all this stuff, even though like I know deep down like this stuff probably doesn't exist. But like, how am I gonna get through my day if I tell myself that there's no magic in the world? That's just it's my coping mechanism. Excuse me, sir, this is my emotional support demon. Thank you very much. But yeah, that covers like the shadow demons in my house. This next one freaked me out so much when it happened. I want to say it happened, like, it definitely happened back when I was in high school. So I'm gonna say maybe like 2015 or 2016. I was home alone. I know for a fact that there was no one else here, and I was laying on my bed with like I was facing my window, which is opposite of my door, and I think I was like reading or something, I don't know, and all of a sudden I felt like a hand just completely like grabbed around my foot, and it probably lasted for a second. It was probably like that, but it was like hard enough that like I was like, that wasn't just like a twitch or something. And like, okay, to play devil's advocate here, like I'm kind of gonna do for all of these, is that it could have very well been like a weird muscle spasm. Like, that's the most logical thing I can come up with. But it was like a very distinct, like a hand grabbing you, like the way that like the pressure of it, I can't explain it, but like I just remember like whipping around and looking behind me and being like, wait, yeah, there's no one here because I'm home alone. And after that, I got really freaked out. And I do find though that if I like call out the ghosts or the demons, like, stop it, that wasn't cool, don't grab my foot, like they kind of back off, you know what I mean? That's why like I really don't think that they are hostile, except for Carlisle. And also, I mean, I've thought this for a long time, but I think that like one of the ghosts in my house is maybe a child, because whenever I like scold them, they always are just like, they back off. Like I think that like they're afraid that I'm yelling at them now. And like sometimes I'll hear like quiet footsteps like at night, and I know my family's footsteps, okay? And I can hear, like, when someone opens, like, I live in a small house, when someone opens their door to, like, go get water or go to the bathroom, whatever, like, I hear the door open. So when I just all of a sudden, like, hear, and, like, they're slow. They're not like how you would walk in your own house. Like, they're very, like, almost like someone is tiptoeing. But it's whatever, I guess. Oh my god, and then there was this one time, god, I think I was, like, I had to be 14 or 13 or something, and I was really sick, and I remember it was August, and I only remember that because like I have never gotten sick in the summer before, but I was like really sick, and I was just like laying out in my living room, and like again, this could have been whatever medication I was taking for my sickness, like messing with me, or me being like in between being asleep and being awake, I don't know. But I had just lost my grandmother like 6 months prior to this, and I mean, I wasn't super close with her, but she was like my only grandparent that I ever knew. And I looked over, and from where I could see, from where I was laying, like I can see our kitchen, and I look over and I saw her sitting at our kitchen table, just like reading or looking out the window or something. And I don't remember being freaked out or anything. I mean, I was like so sick I couldn't even like move, so I was kind of just like laying there like but like I just remember like just like watching her. She was probably there for a couple of seconds and then I blinked and then she was gone. But that's like a good spirit kind of thing, I think. And I mean, I like to think that maybe it was her, but like I said, I do think you could still debunk that one. Like if I had been completely like fine and not sick and not taking like whatever I was taking for, I don't think I had the flu, but it was something that felt very close. So whatever I was taking for that, then I think I would be leaning more towards like, no, this is 100% real. But as much as I do like to believe in ghosts and stuff, like I still can admit when like, oh no, well there's a reasonable explanation for this. And you know, there's always those things where like I'll think that someone's calling my name. Like I'll be listening to music or watching something and I'll just like hear almost like someone from the other room is going like, Sierra, and I'll take my earbud out and then I'll like listen and I'll wait, and sometimes I'll even go like, yeah, but no one called my name. And I don't, again, like that could just be like a weird paranoid thing, because like I will admit, like I am very paranoid. Like I was gonna say, oh, I'm a little bit paranoid, but I am very paranoid. So a lot of this stuff could just come down to that. But yeah, it's been happening a lot lately for whatever reason. Like I'll just be like listening to music and I will just think that someone is saying my name. But again, we're gonna blame the paranoia for that one. All right, but this last one though, like literally, this one happened like a couple of months ago. Like this one's pretty recent, and like I still think about it every single night before I go to bed. I have genuinely never been this freaked out or convinced of, I'm literally like, I'm getting chills right now just like thinking about it. Oh god. I like don't want to cry, but whenever I even like think of this story, I feel like my eyes start to water up. So I was laying in bed one night and door was closed, everyone had gone to bed, whatever. I was not like about to fall asleep, if that makes sense. Like I was like in bed trying to go to sleep, but it wasn't like, you know, that feeling right before you actually like fall asleep. I wasn't in that. I hadn't like fallen asleep and then woken up. Like I know for a fact that I was still awake, and I'm someone who takes like, I can take anywhere from like an hour to 3 hours to fall asleep sometimes. So I was completely awake. I was not like in a weird like state where you're in between sleep and being awake. And I didn't hear my door open, but I heard like quiet footsteps, but these ones weren't slow. This was like someone was walking up to my bed, and I didn't really react because if anything I thought it was like maybe my mom like needed something, or at the time we had actually had like a mouse in our house, so I was like, did she see the mouse and she wants me to like help her catch it? I don't know. My back was like facing the direction of like the side where someone would walk up on my bed, and I felt someone was taking their hand and pushing on my covers, because I kind of sleep with my covers like halfway pulled up over my head, and it was getting closer and closer to my head, and it was like a very distinct weight of a hand, and it was like 1, 2, 3, and I whipped my covers off of me and I flipped around. I was like fumbling for a light switch. I was trying to find my glasses. I was just so panicked, and there was no one there. Like there was absolutely no one there, and I was so freaked out because like the foot grabbing thing, that was like over before it even began basically. But this was like, I heard someone walk up to my bed. I felt these very distinct like 1, 2, 3 touches. And I just remember I had this split second where I was like, the next touch, like if there's a 4th touch, the next one that hits is gonna be like over my ear essentially. And I was just like, it's like a fight or flight thing. It's like, oh god, I don't want whatever's there to get me. And so eventually I was able to like plug in my little string lights and grab my glasses, and I'm just like laying there and I'm just like looking around and I'm like freaking heavy breathing. I'm like probably had started crying at this point because I just had never experienced anything like this before. And I ran out to where my mom was, and I was just like, I told her like, this just happened, and like I know that you're gonna think that I'm crazy, because she doesn't believe in like any ghost type of things. Like she rolls her eyes at me whenever I talk about this stuff. But I just ran out there and I was like, I was so convinced that there had been someone or something in my room, and I was like telling her, and she like went in my room and she was like, there's no one in there. Like my window was closed and locked because it was summer, and at the time like we had the air conditioning on. I know it wasn't a real person, because also like I said, I did not hear the door open, and my door is not a door that you can open quietly. Like the only way I wouldn't hear the door open is if I was already like asleep. But I wasn't asleep, and I was just like crying and like telling her what happened, and she was trying to explain it. Like she was like, well, what was it, this, was it that? And I was like, no, like I promise you it wasn't. Like something just tried to like touch me. And then like she got really freaked out, and then I just like slept in the same room as her because there was no way I was going back in my room after that. And I think I even slept out there like the night after it happened too, because I was just so freaked out, because it's like I was used to hearing the footsteps, but like that was on a completely different level. And like every single night that I go to bed now, I think about that. And for a long time I was afraid to even sleep with my covers like over the side of my head like I like it, because I was like, what if it does it again? Or like I don't know, it really freaked me out. And I just hope that nothing like that ever happens again, because it was not fun. But yeah, those are some of my ghost stories, so comment below, tell me if you have ever experienced anything like that, anything with the paranormal or things that you can't explain. Because like I said, like I feel like pretty much all of the ones that I mentioned before that last one could be explained, but like I cannot explain that last one. I can't even come up with an excuse for it. So, but yeah, it's October, so I figured I'd dig up some of my traumas for this week. And on that note, I will see you next week. Alright, bye.